On YouTube, this is a good one. This one comes from Rashad Bateman. Shout out to Rashad Bateman. Definitely the Rashad Bateman. If it is the Rashad Bateman, shout out to you. Get healthy. But he says, do you feel we should extend Marcus Peters to create cap space? Then it says, me personally, I think we should, especially after last night's game. What do you think about Pepe Williams being used more than Brandon Stevens? Should we sign OBJ since the Ravens was one of the teams he requested he wants to come to? P.S. Don't worry, guys. I, Rashad Bateman, will return soon. First of all, great comment. That's a great way to end that. I'll go first really quickly. I don't think so. I don't think we should try and extend Marcus Peters right now. I think it's better for the Ravens' future not to make a rash decision. And I want Marcus Peters back for next year. But if we extend him, that is limiting opportunities the Ravens have, right? And the players they could potentially sign if they were to extend him, unless they had a trade in place, right? But even if they had trades in place, they wouldn't have the money in future years to have Marcus Peters. Because if they extend Marcus Peters right now, they would have enough money for Roquan Smith this year to trade for. But Roquan Smith is gonna want his contract extension, and then we wanted the money to sign Roquan. So I would rather wait until the end of this year, miss out on some mid-season signings, Odell or some of these other players, DJ Moore trades or whoever, people are bringing up. I would rather wait and give the Ravens flexibility because we could very well re-sign Marcus Peters. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But if we do it now and say he gets hurt, knock on wood, say he gets hurt, say he stops performing to the level that we may expect from him, let's wait on it. Let's wait on it so then this offseason we can try and sign Lamar. We can try and sign the defensive player that we're going to bring in. Maybe we don't re-sign Marcus Peters and we use that money to sign a wide receiver. Let's hold off, get some options, have some cap space in the offseason. What do you think, Joshua?
I definitely agree with that. I mean, honestly, because this, we keep on saying it. This is the perfect year for Lamar Jackson. This is the year where, we see everything happens because we really don't know what next year is going to look like. We don't know if we're going to make it to the playoffs. We don't know if we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. We don't know if we will make it to the Super Bowl and win. Because if we make it to the Super Bowl and win, unfortunately, that costs money. Everybody that wins the Super Bowl, except the LA Rams, has been getting hit with the cap. They don't have enough funds to bring some guys back. But with the LA Rams, shout out to them, the cap is cap. Seriously. I mean, they brought in guys, made moves, and I mean they're not playing like the team that should be in the upcoming Super Bowl. They may not be them, but they made moves. They made moves to bring people back and things of that nature. Now, but when it comes to Marcus Peters, man, I love him. He's a dog. If they still have John Harbaugh there, we definitely have to think about that too. And just the outburst that Marcus Peters, had against John Harbaugh. We all know how John is with veteran players. It's either his way or the highway. And yeah, he'll put up with it right now, because Marcus Peters is under contract. He needs all his best players available on that defensive side of the ball. But comes to the end of the season, he might say the hell with it. He might tell Eric DeCosta, you know what, man, the way he disrespected me at such and such game, and then to carry on the way he did and stuff like that. Yeah. All that family stuff is out the window. Forget Marcus. I don't want him back on my team. So, we don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, they may, so you got to think about that. I definitely feel like Marcus Peters is a fine piece of this defense. He has that dog in him that the Ravens need. I feel like he does need a contract extension when the season is over, especially when we see how the money is looking like and everything, but we definitely have to see how the season plays out. And you never know. We can maybe find another gem in the draft in the second or third round, a starter-like corner, because I believe this corner class is also deep as well for this upcoming draft as well, for us to find, a diamond in the rough type of player.
You take it a step further. I think the Ravens already got their diamond in the rough.
I don't
The
see
other part of this question, we're seeing a lot of Pepe Williams, not a lot of Brandon Stevens. Pepe Williams looks so good right now.
because he's a true right now. He's solidifying himself as a true nickel in this league, or either a solid number 2. I don't think he takes a number 1 step in the NFL as of yet.
He right now is a guy that. Here's the difference between him and like I think he can play on the outside. I don't think that's going to be like his main thing, but he is physical.
Yeah.
He has made some tackles where it makes you turn and go, yeah, that's what I mean. When he got drafted, we were super excited because we were like, it looks like he's got that dog. And we already have Marlon, who definitely has that dog. Brandon Stevens, we don't really know. He's kind of new to the position. The thing about Brandon Stevens, I'll say this. It's very clear that he works hard and he wants to hit people. He's just new. He's like all over, like he's trying. It doesn't look like he's got that dog, but it's like, okay, he's got to develop a little bit more.
Yeah.
Pepe Williams is making hits. He leveled Jamar Chase and was able to keep him from getting a first down. Last week, I think he hit Diggs on like a screen pass, or he has been like just drilling guy, or he hit Tyreek Hill, I believe. He is just like you throw a screen against Pepe Williams and he's just going to like throw that guy into the sidelines. Like he is physical and he is going to bring you down, which it seems like the Ravens draft a lot of corners that are supposed to do that. And that because they did that in college and then they don't do it in the NFL. Shout out. I'm sorry to Amon Marshall, but as Void would call him, Hall of Fame injured reserve. Give him the gold jacket. He in college was physical. Maurice Kennedy out of UVA, super physical corner. But we haven't gotten to see that in the NFL from some of these later round draft picks at corner. We're seeing it from Pepe, and he looks like he deserves to be on that field more than Brandon Stevens, I think, at this point. He looks like the guy that can easily fill into Kyle Fuller's shoes because we tried to fill it with Brandon Stevens, and it wasn't working. Pepe, I think, can fill those shoes for in the short term, and that'll just make him even better in the long term.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
He's just so exciting to watch.
Didn't he ask? Didn't Rashad Bateman won? Didn't he ask about OBJ?
Oh yeah, he also asked, should we sign OBJ?
What you think about that?
I like OBJ. If he wants to sign for, I don't want to give him a large contract. If he wants to sign for really cheap for a vet min, I would do it.
He's a week 10 signing for me.
Yeah. It's not something that we need right now because he's injured. So, like, he wouldn't be able to play this week. So, we're going to have to wait anyway. And I think a lot of teams are going to be calling him. Teams like the Packers are going to be calling him. I think he's going to be too expensive for the Ravens. But this next one, this one's interesting. This was from Adi. Adi Mahmood says, I lost my tab. He says, is this Nick Boyle's last year as a Raven? If so, do we draft the tight end in the first round within the next 2 years?
Adi, do you forget who we have in the that's nursing himself back from injury? We have another all-around guy.
Yeah, I read this and I was like, okay. I don't think we're not drafting a tight end in the first round. I don't know if we're ever going to do that again. It's going to be a very long time because we got Mark Andrews. It's drafting a tight end in the first round when you have a Mark Andrews makes no sense. Now you can draft a tight end like the Ravens did in the fourth because it's a 4th round pick and they had a ton of fourths and they drafted 2. We got Charlie Kohler and we have Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. That right there is 3 tight ends that is the best 3 tight ends in the NFL in one tight end group. That's without Nick Boyle.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I don't think we are going to be holding on to them.
Like the only person I see us draft, if we was to draft a tight end, I actually see us getting the guy. What is it, Mayer? I didn't know what you're saying. Possibly.
Yeah. It's just like, I mean, if he somehow fell a lot, maybe if it was a situation like Ojabo where, again, knock on wood, you don't hope for any injuries.
Yeah.
But if he, something happened and it was like, oh, concern similar to like Orlando Brown Jr., right? Where it was like, oh, first round pick, gets injured, the combine's really bad because he's doing it injured and he slides. Yeah, then maybe we go after someone of his talent. But as it stands right now, like first round pick.
Yeah.
Let's get some wide receivers or an edge rusher or a corner or a linebacker. Linebackers, I think, the biggest thing that I want right now. But that's kind of it for those questions. Josh,